Hey, I was asked recently, how do I create custom brushes? Well, I've done that before in the past, but I was curious, could I use AI to create custom brushes and use those brushes on future projects? Are we ready for this? Let's do it. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, this is dedicated to photographers and photo artists and pushing ourselves to literally think creatively out of the box. All right, with that out of the way, let's jump into our program, and that is an email came into me about creating custom brushes, and I did that in the past. I just can't remember when. It was like last year sometime, but I was just curious, could I use AI maybe to create some of these brushes for me and use those again as custom brushes in future projects? So what I'm going to do is we're going to go with an image like this and create some smoke that would go on a cigar, and it looks like this. Now that was done with a custom brush that was created by AI. So let me give you the ABCs and how to do that. All right, jumping in here into Photoshop, I'm just going to start with this image. I might just duplicate that image. I like to sometimes do it before and after. So with that layer selected, just do Control J, Command J on a Mac, and that will duplicate your layer. Now, this might take a few tries, but what you want to do is grab a selection tool like the lasso tool. So L to grab the lasso tools. You'll see that over here. You'll see a flyout menu where you'll see different types of selection tools, but you want to make sure you're grabbing the lasso tool. And then what you want to do is come down, and we want some smoke here off the cigar. So I'm just going to click and drag like this to designate an area where I'd like to see the smoke. And then, oh, that was a bad selection. So we'll see what happens there. And then go to your generative fill taskbar and click on that. And I'm just going to type in, just cigar smoke. And by the way, just a little tip, if you highlight this after you type in whatever you want, Control C, Command C on a Mac to copy that, just in case this doesn't work well and you want to generate again, or delete it and try again. You don't want to have to retype in the phrase. You can just copy paste it in there. So now I just choose Generate, and let's see what happens. Now again, when it's generating this, it gives you three choices. I might not like any of them, which means I'll try to regenerate that again. Okay, that first one's not bad. And let's take a look at the second one and this one. So, wow. I don't know which one I like. I'm going to go with that one right there so far. But you know what? I'm going to hit generate again. Again, this might take you 2-3 times to find something that you really like. If not, we might use the first one just for demo purposes, because I don't want to waste time regenerating. So I don't like that, and not too bad, but I'm going to lean, I'm going to go with that one. Okay, so that's what I'm going to choose. So here's what I want to do is I need to put this on a, well, it is on a separate layer, but to convert this into a custom brush, what I need to do is the smoke actually has to be black on a white background to create that brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this layer here. I'm going to add a new layer. I'm going to fill that layer with black so I can just see the smoke right there. And based on, and this is something that just to consider, if you think the smoke is a little bit too strong, you like to push back on that, you might consider coming down to the Oreo cookie dipped in milk over here in layers. And that is to choose, I'm just going to choose curves as an example, and just come over here and push this up. See how it makes that brighter? But if I push it down, it makes it a little bit darker. So you could play with this to say, you know what, I want it to look more like that. I think it's just too bright right there, so I'm pushing it down. And again, personal preference, but I'm going to make it look like that. Okay, with that done, I'm going to now hold the shift key down because this is selected. With the shift key selected and held down, I'm going to click on the black layer. So I have all 3 layers combined together here. And I'm going to do Control E or Command E on a Mac so it consolidates it on a single layer. Now this has a slight bluish tint. We need to have things black and white here. So what I should have done, and I forgot to do, so I will go back to, well, I don't have to. I can just do Shift Control U. That would be a Shift Command U on a Mac, and that's just desaturating the colors out of this because I do need this to be black and white. Now I'm going to do this. Control I, Command I is inverting that, and that's what I want to use to create my brush. So to create a brush, this is all you have to do. Grab a selection tool. I'll just grab the rectangle marquee tool here, and I'll just do a click and drag motion over this area to make sure I get all of the detail of the smoke, and then come down to Edit, drop-down menu. About 2/3 of the way down, you'll see Define Brush Preset, and give it a name. I'll just, again, I'll just paste cigar smoke and click on OK to accept that. And I'm done. So if I deselect that, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Control D, Command D on a Mac just to deselect that. And let's get rid of this layer for right now. And there's my brush. And by the way, if I come over here to choose, let's say, a soft round brush, to find the new brush I just created, to select it, come down here to the very bottom of your brush menu, and you'll see it right here, cigar smoke. This is one I did earlier, just goofing around. So what I'm going to do here is right mouse click and just choose to delete that so I don't get confused. So that's gone. So again, if I go to, with my brush tool selected, if I go to the option bar and pull down the menu right here, again, you'll find that that custom brush is at the very bottom. And you can reorganize that brush and stick it in a different folder or whatever, but that's how you just create the brush. And then same concept when you're working with a brush is if I choose the right square bracket, it makes it bigger, and the left square bracket will make that smaller. Just a little tip, when we're using this, we need to use the brush with white. So I'm looking in the lower left-hand corner toward the bottom of my toolbar, and I see that black is on top. So I'm just going to tap on the X key to invert that. Now my opacity of the brush I can see right now is at 30% over here in the toolbar, and I don't want it to be that. So I'm just going to tap on 0 to make that 100%. If I click once, this is the smoke I get. Now let me just undo that. If I do this 3 or 4 times, let me just do it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Obviously the smoke is more intense. And I don't want it that strong, but I just want to show you that you could build on that. My recommendation is add a layer first before you apply the smoke. Then you can just click once or twice, depends on the intensity you want. We can always go over here on opacity and pull the opacity down if we wish to do that, based on your composition and the look that you want. But for demo, I'm going to keep that at 100%. Now, the reason I want that on a separate layer is it allows me to do this. Control T, Command T on a Mac, and I'm going to hold the, the Control key down, which should be Command on a Mac, and I can actually skew. If I go to a corner, I can reshape this a bit to get the look that I want, reposition it, increase the size, whatever. But I might go with that and say, okay, that's cool. And again, I'm just sort of goofing around with this. I like that. Okay, so with that finished, one of the things, because this is in color, this wouldn't mean much if it was in black and white, but because it's in color, you don't really see any, say, redness like we would see with the tobacco and stuff on a cigar. In black and white, again, wouldn't matter. But since we're in color, I might do something like this. I'm going to add another layer to the very top. And I'm going to go grab my brush, B for brush, and I'm going to grab a traditional round brush. And let's make that a bit smaller here. So, whoops, grabbed the wrong one. Sorry about that. Want the round one. There we go. Okay, so with that selected, why does it keep jumping? Sorry about that. Let's see. Let's Boy, my mouse is doing funny things again. I keep forgetting to check my battery. Okay, with this selected, I want to make this really small. And I'm going to come over here to the color picker, and I'm going to pick a red color. And I'm just going to carefully, let's zoom in on this a bit. Make these different sizes, but I'm just going to just sort of clicking in different spots to add some redness. Make some smaller, some bigger, just moving that around a bit, just to make it look like we got some, definitely some hot spots in there. And then I'll do a blending mode. And let's see, probably soft light. I'm going to go with overlay so you can see what that does. There's your before and after. And again, you can play with the opacity. But when you pull back, that's going to give it a more natural look right here. Let me pull back on this. So you can see that if I turn that on and off, there we go. Okay, so there we go. That's how to create a custom brush. Let me, by the way, if you're getting any value out of this, if you can do me a favor, like the video, subscribe if you haven't not subscribed, and hit that notification bell. Next time I upload a video, you'll get notified on that. The other thing, I would like to thank everybody that's been contributing to my channel by going to buymeacoffee.com/Stephen Photo Artist. You see the link right here at the bottom of the screen. That'll be in my show notes also, so you can actually, donate a coffee or take a look at the extra tab on some tutorials that you could purchase to download anywhere from $3 to $7 and $10 for those. Okay, so with that out of the way, hopefully we learned something. And again, this is, we could, if I want to make this as a black and white image, let me just reposition this. You might consider just going to, I'll just do something basic like, let's just pick black and white adjustment layer. And then you could play with the sliders to give it the look that you want to give it that mood and that. But if I'm going black and white, I certainly didn't have to worry about, putting in some red spots there to make it look like that was actually a lit cigar. That makes more sense if that's in color. So again, if you take a look at the, over here, let me just zoom in on that. So we can see that there's a before, after. So looks a little bit more natural right there. So anyhow, hopefully you learned something. Again, let's get that camera out. Try this technique. I think it's a really cool idea. And that is letting AI create a brush for you. Well, it's not creating a brush for you, it's creating the smoke that I just did. And then I'm going to take that smoke and convert it into a customized brush. Until next time, see ya.